एवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविडं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव त्वमेव सर्वं गुरुदेव देव। हरि ओम। We are doing the Panchadasi, 15th chapter of Sri Vidyaranya Swami, and this is the last or the final chapter of this textbook, Panchadasi. It is also the last 5 chapters from the 11th to 15 are also called Brahmananda, and in that this is the 5th chapter. So the first 5 chapters deal with the Sat aspect, the second 5 chapters deal with the Chit aspect, and the last 5 chapters deals with the Ananda aspect. And whatever the happiness that one gains, even when you are not looking for the highest, even the other happiness, because everyone is looking for happiness only. So I am not looking for existence, I know I exist. I am not looking for consciousness, I know I am conscious entity. What I am looking for is only happiness, and everybody thinks that happiness is this, happiness is that, happiness is making your dream successful. All that, if you go to Google, you have varieties of how one can be happy. But I am going to give a symposium, or not symposium, the camp on how to be always happy. But that's in the Memorial Day in the Washington Cinema Center. But what amounts to is, how can I be always happy? That is the pursuit of every being. Because everyone thinks that this is happiness. But once you get that, you feel yourself unhappy still. Unhappiness is expressed as inadequacy. Inadequacy means I still am not full and I need this. Whenever you have a notion that I need this for me, so are you happy? Yes, but what? I want some more things. So whenever there is a need for something else, that means your happiness, you feel you are incomplete as you are. However much complete you are better than a lot of other people, but still you are still incomplete. And that's what the Ananda scale is in the Taittiriya Upanishad. One who is completely emperor of the whole world and young enough and attractive enough, and his happiness is called 1 unit. And we compared to him, our happiness 0.000 something. And even his happiness is limited because he wants to become more happy, and he knows that the Gandharvas, the Manushya Gandharvas are 100 times more happy than him. So he wants to become that. So, and Manushya Gandharvas, Eva Gandharvas are 100 times more happy than them. So they want to become the next one. So like that keeps going. We will never stop in this process because you are trying to gain something outside by acquiring this or by becoming full by adding finite things. You can never become infinite by adding finite things. Only when you understood that problem, that is examining the problem, that parichyalokan karmachitan brahmana, whoever inquires, hey, I am not getting what I want by this way, there must be another way, because I cannot stop trying to become happy and I cannot become happy with this process. There must be a different route in order to gain that. And that's what scripture says. You can be happy without acquiring anything by sotriyasya akamayatasya, by being a sotriya and by being a non-desire. That means you are full by yourself because you are by nature happiness. That is what a happiness is. So whatever happiness that you enjoy even in the other things is also same happiness. You are only going roundabout way to get this happiness. That is the problem. The problem is not pursuit of that. Pursuit is, number one, you are struggling hard to get it, and struggling hard to maintain it, and struggling hard to preserve and not to lose it. So it is a dukkha misrittatvam and asantruptikaram and agamapayitvam, because it keeps coming and going all the time. And in this chapter, Vidyaranya says, happiness that one gets even in the case of the objective happiness is when the mind is calm and quiet and serene. That's called Shanta Vritti. Shanta Vritti you will get when the mind is no more agitated. Mind is no more agitated either process of the discipline or when in the moments of when your desire is fulfilled. At those moments you get a quiet calm mind, and therefore happiness gets reflected. So either way it is same happiness which is akhandam, which is unbroken, infinite happiness that one is, but you get a broken because of the reflecting medium, and you are paying attention to the reflecting medium without turning your attention to your true nature. We'll do 10 now. Yajjapi nirmale nire, yajjapi nirmale nire, vaknir Vaushnasya Sankramaha, Vaknihi Aushnasya Sankramaha, Vaknihi Aushnasya Sankramaha, Na Prakashasya Tadvatsya, Na Prakashasya Tadvatsya, Chinmatrodbhutirevacha, Chinmatrodbhutirevacha. Together. Yajjapi nirmale nire, Vaknihi Aushnasya Sankramaha, Saprakashasya Tadvatsya, Chinmatrodbhutirevacha. So here another example is given to show that you can have a chit but not reflection of the happiness. You can have a sat but not reflection of the chit. So in an inert medium, only reflection of the sat is there, other things are not reflected. In the case of the subtle material, the mind, whether it's a ghora vritti or moha vritti or mudha vritti, then the reflection is there, the chit is there as well as the sat, but no ananda. For ananda, you need a shanta vritti or sattvic mind or sattvic thoughts, then you get a happiness also. Happiness plus consciousness plus chit. Completely the Satchidananda gets reflected, all aspects of Satchidananda gets reflected. So yajjapi nirmale nire, just nirmale nire, yajjapi yadvapi, just as nirmale nire, in the pure water, vaknehi, of the fire, aushnasya, the heat of the fire. So when his water is pure, when you heat the water, and the heat in that water can be expressed, and if you touch it, you know that it's a hot water. So the one can see or feel the heat the heat of the fire can be seen in the nirmala water. But it says Vaknehi Ushnasya Sankramaha. Is pervaded by the heat, pervades the whole because of the convection and conduction, both contributes to the heat dissipation all over. Prakashasya na tadvat. No, but no light is coming. So the fire has both the light and the heat aspects involved, but only heat is expressed in the waters. So the heat of the fire is only expressed in the medium water. For light also to express, you have to go to different type of fuel. So that's essentially analogy here. Only one aspect is being expressed by the medium. It's not that the fire doesn't have the heat. A fire has both the heat and the light also. And here that's the analogy here is used to say that only the consciousness and the existence are expressed in the ghora and the mudha thoughts, in the rajasic and tamasic thoughts, but not ananda. Na prakashasya tadvat syat chinmatro bhutirevacha. So chinmatra, only consciousness is udbhutihi, is reflected evacha sya. So alone is indeed in the ghora and mudha vrittishu. Whereas for Shanti or Santi Vrittishu, that means Shanta Vrittishu, that is for the thoughts of the nature of the sattvic thoughts. Sattvic thoughts is the one that he already gave examples of, the Vairagyam and Shanti, Audaryam. So the expansion of the mind means therefore is large-heartedness, you call. So everybody is Sarve bhavantu sukinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kachid dukkha bhat bhave. Let everybody be happy, let everybody be healthy, let everybody see auspiciousness, let nobody suffers. So that is the expansion, that is essentially the Audaryam. Audaryam is large-heartedness. It's not just a statement of saying, oh, sarve bhavantu sukhina, and then not do exactly or not doing properly in order to make sure in whatever way you make other people happy. So you have to make sure put that into practice and try to say, so other people who are suffering, that need help, has to be uplifted, and then only the statement Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina comes into picture. If you can't help it, of course, then you have no means to help it, then at least prayer will be helpful also. So it's essentially the pure sattvic thoughts, Audaryam, Chitta Vishalata, expansion of the mind is Daivi Sampatti. It is the divine qualities that Krishna talks about will help in the reflection of pure Ananda also in that mind. That's why he calls it values required. In the same way here, the example is, in the fire does not get, the light of the fire does not get reflected in the waters, even in the normal water, in the pure waters, only the heat gets reflected. So it's a different example to show that medium has to be proper for the reflection. And when both the heat and the fire can be expressed, and he gives in the next example of the fire, 11, काष्ठोत्वेष्ण्य प्रकाशौद्वौ उद्भवं गच्छतो यथा उद्भतं गच्छतो यथा शान्तासु सुखचैतन्ये तथैवोभूतिमाप्नुतः काष्ठोत्वेष्ण्य प्रकाशौद्वौ उद्भवं गच्छतो यथा शान्तासु सुखचैतन्ये तथैवोद्भूतिमाप्नुतः. So kaste here, in the previous example, he took a clean water, and when it is heated up, only the heat is shown, but not the light in the water, because Ushnam has both the heat and the light. Whereas if you take the kashta means if you take a wood, dry wood, to Aushna Prakashe, if it is fire is there, then you see both the light and the heat. Both are being expressed. So it is the medium problem, not the problem with of the fire. Fire has both. Only one is being expressed by the media, and in the other media, both are not expressed, and therefore the medium problem has to be changed. That's all. So here, kaste in the wood to Aushna Prakashe, the heat and the light, they both, yatha, just as Udbhavet Gacchataha. So they manifest in both are manifested, both the heat and the light are manifested in the firewood, but not in the water, hot water. Tatha, in the same way, Shantashu, in the sattvic thoughts, in the mind which has a sattvic vritti, sattvic thoughts, Sukha Chaitanya, not only the consciousness but also the happiness is also being reflected, and bliss and consciousness eva udbhutim apnutaha. So they are essentially is seen or manifest both the consciousness and happiness. Of course, existence is already there. So existence, consciousness and happiness, all three are being expressed in the Santa Vritti, in the Sattvic thoughts. These are different analogies are used, and I used a simple for modern day example for a rational intellect. In the light example I use, we know that light has 7 components, that is the Vibgaya, from the violet to red, the 7 colors are there, the spectrum, and this depending on the wavelength it changes, and that 7 colors together forming a white light. So white light, instead of Satchidananda, you have 7 components involved. Actually Satchidananda, there is no really not components, but just analogy will do. The same light, when you're looking around, we cannot see the light. By the way, you cannot see the original light. You say, oh, it's all room is lighted. How do you know? But I can see. What do you see? I am not seeing the light, I am only seeing the reflected light. By reflected light, I can say that the light is there. If there is no reflecting medium, then I cannot see the light. Light is there, but I cannot recognize its presence without having a reflecting medium. Same analogy works if it is a pure Satchidananda. If there is no reflecting medium at all, nothing can be seen. For seeing also, you need a reflecting medium to recognize the presence of the sun, of the sunlight, and presence of any light. Same way, presence of pure consciousness cannot be recognized and need not be recognized from the point of, if nothing is there, it's only ekameva advitiyam. So the question will not even come. The question of recognition of that only for those who have not recognized, only this question comes. That means who are in the samsara. The one who thinks that where is exactly consciousness exists in that I am, from the point of 7 colors, if you look at, you see different things appearing different colors. So theory of reflection of the colors says that when the 7 colors are falling, a white light is falling on a red object, the object looks red. We call it a red object only because it's looking red. Why it is looking red? It doesn't look red when it is completely dark. I can't even see. Therefore, I need a light. So light falling on the red object, what happens? Of the 7 colors, all colors except red are absorbed, only reflection of the red light will come. And therefore, when I see only red light reflected, I say this object is red. The other object is blue only because of these 7 colors, white light is falling on it, but this look bluish only because it is absorbing all other colors and reflecting only blue light. If it reflects 2 colors and absorb all other colors, depending upon the degree of the reflection, I get different colors. Just like people have sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, and varieties in between because they have both combinations of these. In the same way, reflecting media will project deflecting colors even though same white light is falling on it. An object looks white because all colors are reflected, and the object looks transparent because no reflection occurs, and object looks black because nothing is reflected. All colors are absorbed. So that is a black body radiation and all that we have studied in the physics. So same way, the reflecting medium is the reflected color depends on the reflecting medium. In the same way, pure Satchidananda, when as though falls on the inert object where it's only a gross material, that means the sthula material, that is by process of panchikaranam, the sthula material is formed, and then the reflection of only existence is the aspect, not the consciousness, and ananda doesn't get reflected. Whereas when you have a subtle body, that is the mind, whether it's a Santa or Ghora or a Muda Vritti, sattvic thoughts, rajasic thoughts or tamasic thoughts. Now all are reflected, therefore in the case of vritti, only the consciousness and the existence are reflected, but not the shantam, that is the ananda part is not reflected. For ananda part, when the mind is fulfilled, at least momentarily when the desire is fulfilled, or permanently when one has realized, either way the reflection of pure ananda also occurs. That means not only sat but chit and ananda also occurs, and that is the degree of the quietness of the reflecting medium determines the happiness that one is, and the happiness scale that we have is a characteristic of the reflecting medium, not the pure Satchidananda, which is always there and it is akhandam, infinite, unbroken, homogeneous happiness is there. So that's a different example that we can use from the modern science, where the light reflection and the reflecting medium can give you the Satchidananda aspect. Now we go to Sloka 12. Vastu svabhavamasritya vyavastatu bhayo sama anubhuchanusarena kalpyate hi niyamakam. Together, vastu svabhavamasritya vyavastatu bhayo sama anubhuchanusarena kalpyate hi niyamakam. So vastu svabhava means depending upon on the quality of the reflecting medium. So he's summarizing now all that. So depending on the quality or purity of the purity of the mind is, so mind, those or the blessed are those whose minds are pure. That's what we say. What does pure really means? Pure means where you have sattvic thoughts. So vastu svabhava, so quality of the reflecting medium, asritya, depending on that, ubayoho, both the consciousness and the existence, or vyavastha is the conditions are indeed reflected, sama, indeed. Anubhutihi anusarena, according to the experience, niyamakam, one determines, kalpyate is imagined. Quality of the medium depends upon the reflections. The quality of the medium determines the type of reflections. Some are very happy, some are very, very bright, and some are dull, and some are actively agitated, depending upon the sattvic thoughts, rajasic thoughts, and tamasic thoughts. Some come to Vedanta and keep quiet and contemplate on it. Some become restless and they cannot even sit there because they have to do something. Some, of course, go to sleep because this is a good place to sleep also. So you have a tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic depending upon the nature of the reflecting medium. So that's essentially vastu svabhavam. The nature of the reflecting medium determines the reflection, and not the original light is homogeneous and there is no changing in that. So it is a homogeneous, constant, ever present, and therefore it's not absent any time because it's nityam and satsarupam, and that is always there. Only medias are completely changing, and depends on the attributes of the medium, reflections are occurring. So this is the essence of Vedanta also. So he is summarizing the statement here. Anubhuti anusarena, one experiences depending upon the medium reflections, and therefore if the medium is completely pure, then I am experiencing the pure consciousness and ananda also, and I may not have the knowledge, then I think I am happy because of something. But if I have the knowledge to reinforce that the Ananda that I am experiencing is not the lack of experience also. It's the Ananda that I am experiencing in the moments of happiness is coming from the Brahmananda. Then I enjoy the Brahmananda. Also when I enjoy the Vishayananda too. That's what we did in the last chapter. Say the Vishayananda, also Brahmananda, Vidyananda, also Brahmananda. Both he enjoys, and he enjoys the Vidyananda or the Vishayananda without struggling hard to get anything. Because when it comes, he is happy. If it doesn't come also, he is happy. Dukkeshu anudvignamanaha sukeshu vigataspraha Vita raga bhaya krodaha sitadhir muniruchyate. So there is no vita ragam, all the things that are agitated, that means there is no rajasic thoughts or a tamasic thoughts, and therefore he has only sattvic thoughts where Ananda gets reflected. Therefore Atmani eva Atmana tushtaha, is happy by himself as himself. That's essentially the statement here. Say Vastu Swabhavam. Swabhavam can be changed by sadhana, because my nature is pure and therefore I can purify the mind to recognize that. Number 13. Naghorasu namudhasu Naghorasu namudhasu Sukhanubhava ichyate Sukhanubhava ichyate Shanta swapi kvachit kvachit Shanta swapi kvachit kvachit Sukhati saya icyatam Sukhati saya icyatam. Together. Naghorasu namudhasu Sukhanubhava ichyate Shanta swapi kvachit kvachitu Sukhati saya icyatam. So ghoreshu, naghoreshu, ghorasu, so naghoreshu. So in the naghoreshu namudhasu. So in the ghoreshu, in the rajasic thoughts, namudhasu, or in the tamasic thoughts, na sukham anubhavaha, no happiness can be felt in that. Even in the rajasic thought, people are happy only when the agitations have come down, when they come down, when they gain what they are looking for, when they gain something, at that momentarily they are happy, depending on the nature of the gain. So again, at that time the mind is shantam. Shantam means no more agitations momentarily. If there no more agitations all the time, then he is a Jivan Muktaha. So Naghoreshu Namudasu, in the Rajasic or in the Tamasic, Sukha Anubhavaha Ichyate. One experiences the happiness in those moments, but if it is a completely Rajasic and Tamasic, na sukha anubhavaha. No experience of happiness can be possible when the mind is agitated by the rajasic thoughts or in the tamasic thought. So one was to grow up to become a sattvic thought. Hence the Krishna says that Daivi Sampatti is helpful and that you can experience the happiness in that, but no knowledge takes place unless you have studied the Vedanta. So there are two. One experience is different from the knowledge. So Naghoreshu namudasu sukha anubhava ichyate shanta swapi kvachit kvachitu. Shanta, so in the sattvic thoughts alone, kvachitu at times or sometimes, sukha adisayaha, extreme bliss ichyata, maybe experience. So even only when the mind is calm, quiet, when the serene in the sattvic thoughts, then you get the bliss of that. So whenever you get the bliss, obviously your whole body expresses that also. You look bright, you look shining also. This is an expression of the happiness that we see some Mahatmas, they look so happy. By looking at them, people enjoy in his presence only. I used to go into Gurudev's place, people are there all the time hanging around because he is overflowing happiness, and in his presence that is overflowing to everybody also. So everybody will be happy just around him, and he wants of course to do his own work. So we'll come back at this and continue on the sloka here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.